So I think so far we've talked about these popular imaging modalities, right? So the next step, for computer scientists is, how we are able to, using take the image, right, and using computer, softwares, right, to help make some of the diagnosis or make some of the more detailed information for the doctors to make some diagnosis. So here I list a couple of free softwares, for medical image analysis, right? You can using these software to load a specific image like MRI or CT and try to visualize them in the software, right? In the three-dimensional space. So these are some of the free available software you can look at. In the next, I'm going to give you a demo, right? So using this particular software called ITK Snap, we're gonna look at a specific CT image and also MRI image, right? And see, how the, different slices of the body, right? And if there's any tumor in a particular organ, right? So how they, kind of distributed over the image. So also I want to mention there's a different medical image formats, right? So these are different as the conventional RGB, right? You have JPEG or PNG kind of format for the natural images. For medical images, they have their dedicated image format, right? So these are some of the common medical image formats. And so, yeah, let's look at this ITK Snap and show a couple of demos, okay? Okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, so before I actually show you this, I want to just recap, because I want you to first kind of recap, right? What do we talk about in the last lecture, right? So we have these like 3D view, right? So we have in the medical analytical domain, right? So we have this sagittal view, right? View from left to right, and we have this coronal view, right, front and back, and the axial view, right, top and down, right? And for you guys, most of us maybe don't have any medical background, right? So here I provide a human anatomy, right? So because we're gonna look at the CT example is for the kidney tumor segmentation. So basically, so we'll have this abdominal CT image, right? So you have show, have to have a good idea, right? Which part is kidney, right? And which part is maybe liver, right? So we have these two kidneys, and we have lungs, etc. Okay, so these are, if you're not familiar, so this is maybe a reference image you can first look at. Then once you understand these two different views, and we can see this in the next demo. Okay. Okay, so this will is this software look like ITK Snap called. So I think they have Mac version or Windows version. So you can go to their website and choose whatever the version fits your computer. Okay, so let's open an image, right? I already prepared some of the example image. So you will open this, on the file, right? So you open main image, and we're gonna go to the folders, right? Have this image file. So I put it here. Example data. Okay, so let's look at the kidney first. Okay. So this is one case of this patient. Okay, so you will, once you load the data, right, you will see, right, we have three different views, right? So quick question for you guys. So which view is this? Anyone? So we talk about the axial view, coronal view and the sagittal view, right? So which view is this?
Is it the sagittal view?
Yes. So yeah, this is kind of straightforward, right? So sagittal view, right, showing the left and right, right? So you can think about this is a cross section of the human body, left and right, right? And this is the axial view. Okay, for this particular software, the sagittal view is always shown in the top right quadrant here. Okay, and this is the corona view. Okay. So this is a CT image, right? And I also want to ask you one thing here. For taking an image, we can maybe the patient can lay on the back on the table, or maybe the belly on the table, right? So how, based on this axial view, right? What do you think? Is this back on the table or opposite?
Back on the table?
Yes. So the answer is back on the table, right? So here you can kind of see this is the table, okay? And we have this spinal cord here, right? So we have these spinal cord. They have these kind of a spinal column, right? A protective layer of bones, right? So it will show as bright right on the CT scan, right? So we can see this is the back. And let's look at, as I told you, right? This is the example image for kidney tumor detection or segmentation. So for this patient, that has a kidney tumor here. Maybe I should do this. Okay, so now we are just loading these, original image, right? So one thing I want to show you is you can using this toggle, right? So each of the quadrant here, you can see these bars, right? You can move it, right? So you can see how this let's look at the axial view, right? So you can see how it changed, right? If you look at on the right, it's kind of, you can see this slice is kind of from, I think that side is the superior, right? So from the top, right, the head, and this is inferior, right? So you can see how this axial view changes, right? Okay, so here you can see the lung actually, right? So this is the lung region, right? So you can see the lung. And as you gradually move down, right? So there's behind you gonna be liver and then kidney, right? So you can see all these different organs, right? You can going further down then, right? Then pretty much we cannot see all these organs. So you can toggle this, right, to get different slices under this axial view, and you can do this on the sagittal view as well, right? So you can do this. So basically, is kind of moving left to right, right? So you can see how the overall, right? So you can just imagine, right? So you have a cross section here, right? In this case, maybe some of the organs is not visible, right, on the sagittal view, right? Especially if you look at this spine, right? Spinal cord here, right? So here we are not able to see that very clearly. But if we, right, move to the left side, okay, towards the center, okay, so then we can gradually see, right? Especially if I put right the middle of the spine here, right? You can clearly see that, right? So similarly, this is the corona view. So you can also move toggle on this the sidebar here, right, and see how it changed, right? Basically show different slices in this particular view, right? So if you look at the sagittal view, right? So we are kind of close to the very back right? And before, right, we kind of just move into the surface, right? Like the skin region, right? There's nothing there. And gradually we are kind of increased, the region of the human body. Okay, so that's how you can using this to kind of examine different slices under different views. Okay, so next I want to show, right, because this data has a corresponding segmentation map for the kidney and the tumor. Okay, so let's open that file as well. So I'm going to have another file name called a label, right? So this folder, we have a label. So this is the data for this corresponding CT scan. Okay, so I'm going to load this in. Right now, if you click update, so you can actually see a 3D model, right, for this label map, right? It's a 3-dimensional, right? So the kidney, right, we have 2 kidneys, right? So in this case, there's the tumor on the left side of the kidney, right? So what's the best way we can maybe, besides to show this 3-dimensional, right? How can we have a better view on this, different slices of the views? So we can actually, look at this corona view here, right? Because it kind of showed the entire abdominal region, right? So we can see, under different slices, right? What's the size, right, of the kidney and also the tumor, right? So we can see that, right? For some of the slices, right, maybe the tumor don't have grow into this, position or region, then it doesn't show up here, right? So you can kind of check out different slices and see how the tumor and the kidney is on this particular slice, okay? So in this case, each slice will have a corresponding kind of segmentation map, right? So for each slice, I will have this label map here. And you can also do this for different other views, right? So this is another view, check out the sagittal view. Right, so up here, we are able to see the tumor on the sagittal view, right? Similar for the axial view, right? Okay, so that's how you can also visualize, the segmentation map on this using this software. Okay, so that's the CT image. Next, I also want to show the MRI, right? We talk about those different MRI sequences, so maybe we can also visualize them as well. So let's look at this Brett's 2019 data set. So this is a public available data set for brain tumor segmentation. So I also have one particular example here. So also have image data and also have the label data. So let's first load the image, right? So we look at the T1, T2, and the FLAIR, right? These are the 3 very common popular sequences being used for this kind of brain tumor examination. So let's look at T1. Okay, so this is the T1 sequence, right? So T1 has this, the one character is, if you look at the fluid, right? So it show up dark on the T1 weighted image, right? So here, and you can also, just like the CT image, right? So you can check out different slices of these volumetric data, right? So this is the sagittal view, and you can also check, right? And this is the corona view. So you can also look at this. Okay, so this is T1 weighted. Let's look at T2. So again, we go to this folder and we go to the T2 weighted image, and we can read this data in. and you can clearly see there's some changes, right? So for this CSF, right? So here, this show up as bright color on this T2 weighted image. And again, everything, the view, right? You can, show, you can cross-examine different slices. And yeah, so this is T2 weighted. Then we'll also show the last one, this flare sequence. Okay, so this is the flare, right, with the water suppressed. So you can also see there's dark, right? So in this case, let's since we are not going to show any more sequence, let's open the segmentation label. So let's go to the REST label. So this is show the segmentation map. Okay. Okay. So I don't know if you guys noticed, right? So before we load the map, right? Actually, we can actually see some part in this flare sequence, right? There is some white showing bright color in this region, right? And turns out this is the actually the tumor region, right? As we see on that video, right? As mentioned, the flare is good at detect some of the pathology, right? So can able to show some of the disease like tumor here. So so these different colors corresponding to different tumor types. So I think on the second assignment we'll do this brain tumor segmentation. You will know better like what type of tumors are encoded with different colors. And this also is a 3D view of these tumor, right? So it kind of overlapped with each other, kind of have this yellow, green, and the red here, right? Some of them kind of have some overlap, very intricate together, don't have like a clear boundary. And you can also, check out different slices, right? Some of the slice doesn't have all the tumor types, maybe only have one, right? Because maybe in this slice, right, those tumor are not show up in this slice. So you can also do this for other views. Okay. Okay, so that's basically how you can using this software to visualize the data and some of the label map. Of course, this software also have some built-in functions that can also help you to do some of the segmentation task, right? So you can explore that. But for this course, we are not going to using this software to do the segmentation. Actually, we're gonna implement code to build algorithm to do the segmentation using the deep learning technique. So this tool is more like you can visualize the data, get familiar, right? What these data look like, right? And give you an idea, right? So what a tumor looks like, right? How they distributed, right? In this particular data modality. Okay. Okay, so let's see if we have more on this. Okay, so I think that's all for today. So here are some of the reference you can check it out, and yeah, that's it for